Okay, we're back.
Okay.
So you said that just by reading the words, you
Yeah.
want it to bless somebody.
hmm Yeah, because so many times I would pick up a book about the oils and there were all these negative, kind of heavy words. And
Mm,
we know through Dr. Emoto's work about do you know that the vibrations and words they would say to water and then they would freeze it and look under the microscope? Do you know anything about that?
yep, I
Yeah.
do.
So
Joe Dispenza talks about that a lot too.
awesome. Yeah. So it's that understanding that vibration has an effect. And I was like, here we are talking about the oils healing us in this very negative context. And
Hmm.
so I was like, I really want a book that's all high vibrational words so that when you're reading it, you're literally soaking in all of this beauty and
Wow.
invoking beauty within. And so every chapter starts with a blessing that focuses on what that oil has to give us. And then next, I kind of walk through my journey just a little bit so you can experience the story, like kind of the fairy tale, if you will, of the oil. And then the oil's message and all the things it relates to. So, like lemon is so cool. I never thought about this. So, lemon is known as the oil of focus and clearing, like it clears away distractions. And then
Wow.
when I went to go ask Lemon for more information, Lemon talked about this beautiful ability to help synchronize all the moving parts in a group setting, whether it was multiple people or even in yourself if it was trying to really access all your skills to get a project done.
Wow.
And then it also talked about the intimacy that we have to get to this vulnerable, intimate spot to really collaborate as a group and gel and take the ego out of like who's the winner or the leader of the group, but more so just like collaborating on this beautiful level. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's just beautiful.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. Wow.
And so after the message, I then wrote a couple of questions so people could actually kind of ponder their life or use it as a journal practice and get to a deeper space, like how does this oil relate to you and how could you really use it in your life. And then at the very bottom I give about 3 to 4 different protocols that you could then use every day if you wanted to.
That's awesome. Wow. And where can people find this book?
So the book is on my website, and my website is amberjanehealing.com. So AmberJane healing.com.
Awesome. I'll also add that to the podcast notes and everywhere where I'm going to put your episode on. So that way people know where to find it.
Yeah.
Amber Jane, we talked about your daughter. Tell us about her and of course her name and what you learn every day from her or what you learn from her. And yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my daughter is such a blessing. For a long time, I wasn't sure I wanted to be a parent.
Wow.
And I struggled a little bit with getting pregnant. And then when I did, it was kind of a chaotic moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Is this right? And I'm so glad she stuck with us. She has just, I I think the dynamic of love becomes so beautiful and real when you have children. And
Hmm.
the safety in their love was the most profound experience because as adults, we have so many expectations and kind of strings attached to our love, and their love is unconditional.
Hmm. So
It's,
pure.
it's so pure. And so I learned a lot from her that to just laugh and enjoy life, to tap into expressing yourself. She is like me in a lot of ways and not like me in a lot of ways,
Wow.
surprising me more and more about her strength and her courage, but her ability to like hold back and assess things before moving forward, which I never had as a child. I was like, you know, jump in and then see how hot the water is, you know? So I also really appreciate her ability to kind of walk in between the spirit world and the real world. Like sometimes I think my work and my world, because I work in the spirit world so much, is a little bit confusing to her. Where she is so much about, you know, playing in the dirt and climbing the trees and playing with her toys. And I always was like, well, is she going to show up with these gifts? You know, if I have it, is she going to have it? And sometimes she doesn't like to talk about things very much, which I was curious about that. But just the other day through Halloween, actually, she said she kept feeling someone tapping on her shoulder.
Wow.
And it was the first time she ever told me that she had like an experience. And I said, well, how does that feel? You know, does it feel okay? Does it feel safe? Does it feel like you want to go and, you know, figure out who it is, or if you want it to continue? And she's like, I feel like it's okay. I just tell them I don't have time right now. You're brilliant.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah. And then I really appreciate how I do a lot of blessings with things my guides like. They like incense and tobacco and flowers and food. And so we do blessings on the altar, and she really likes doing that. And so it's really fun to watch her slow down. Like I didn't expect a child to be so slow and present. So she's talked a lot about that.
What is her name?
Annalise.
Annalise. Yeah. What a beautiful name. I love that name.
Yeah.
What is your message for her? If she was listening to this episode today?
Oh, that she's just so incredibly loved by more love than you can fathom in the universe, in my heart, in our family's heart. And that her job is just to figure out how to cultivate more love and be the greatest version of herself, whatever that is.
That's awesome. What is your mother still around?
Yes.
What is it that what is it that you learned from your mom that you are applying into your parenting style?
I think that cheerleading and support. My mom is so great at being a cheerleader for me and constantly saying that she's proud of me.
Wow.
And is amazing, because my dad didn't do that. It took him probably 25 years before I ever heard him say something like, I'm proud of you.
Wow.
So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I think my mom teaches me that.
That's great. So before I ask you the last question, tell us which social media outlets you hang out a lot, and where else can they find you other than your websites in or around social media?
Right. Yes, I am not super tech savvy, as you could probably imagine. So I'm trying to learn Instagram, and I'm doing just like little posts every once in a while. So right now it's AmberJane.a on Instagram. And I'm really lively on Facebook. I like to do live videos. I have a private group, or a public group right now called Soul Abundance. And I also have a couple of private groups for people who are my clients and customers who want to learn more about the essential oils.
That's awesome. So I had before I go to my last question, I actually had one question pop into my head as soon as I have you on, because I see some butterflies behind you.
Yeah.
So do you like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And there's one that's forming a heart. So
Yeah. There's a whole bunch that form a heart and then they fly out.
there's you talking to plants, and butterflies are, they love plants.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the symbol of the butterfly behind you mean to you?
So I'm in my healing office right now, and what we're taught in the shamanic perspective is that once we have an ally that does a specific job for us, we honor them in some way. And I love this. So one of the things that I'm starting to help people do is go and meet their allies. And often it's something that has already been showing up. And that's why I have that message of like, don't discredit or dismiss that your child is talking to a tiger or a make-believe person or an angel, because that might actually be their guide. Whereas monarch butterflies, my whole entire life, I have loved monarch butterflies. It's on my bucket list to go to Mexico, where they hang out in these trees for the winter time before they come back into the US. And there's an amazing documentary about it. So I went to get an ally for extraction work. And what extraction work is: clearing off energy that doesn't match you. It helps you rebalance chakra systems and just helps you feel a lot lighter and kind of unstick the heaviness of life. And monarch butterfly showed up. And it was funny when I first, met her in this journey. I was like, you're not a tiger or like a, warrior in some way. How can you help me with this type of energy work? And they showed me how they're just this beautiful swarm and this gentle kind of like using their wings to clear away the energy and make everything lighter and bring in this beautiful golden like pollen that's love and just dust your whole body. And so that is why they're on my wall, is to honor that they come in and help me do that work. And I often ask them to participate in my new moon circles that I host every month, where we do a group clearing. And so I call in my monarch butterflies to help with that.
Wow. When you describe what a monarch butterfly and how they would help you, it reminded me of you when you talk about gentle, and they use their wings to clear off the, the bad energy. It does. So it's soothing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before I go to my last question, I just want to thank you for holding space for a lot of us to reconnect us to the plant world, because they are well-serving. They serve us without asking for anything in return.
True.
They give us a lot of oxygen, and we can't breathe without it. So your work and your healing work and your energy work is super important. And I think if people could just open up a little more and allow you to really help them connect to the plant world, it would make a difference in this world, right? So thank you for leveraging your gift and using your gift for the betterment of this world. And thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So last and final question, what is your definition of mother hustler, or what came to your mind when you heard that fun play of words? Because it's not really a word on the dictionary. Hopefully one day it will be.
I know. Oh my gosh. Do we not need so much high fives, pats on the back, and validation for how much women are taking on at this time? Like, not only are we the change makers, we're still the nurturers and like the vital piece of kind of holding our households together and running a household. And so when I think of mother hustler, it's that it's such a great definition to like all the balls you have in the air. Like from going from like not being a mother and not being an entrepreneur or someone who has a 9 to 5 job where they're, you know, they're needed in this realm of being able to make money, and then their husbands usually, I mean, what I really like is our husbands are actually stepping up. At least mine is. Like, he does the dishes, he, you know, cooks the meals, he takes my daughter to
Yes, yes.
and my dad never did that stuff, and his dad never does that stuff. So I feel like the men are waking up too. But as far as the mother hustler, oh man, I just feel like it really defines that, like, that multitasking, and at the same time being really strong and powerful, as well as that, like I said, the nurturing piece and the loving piece and the caring piece. It's, we're so dynamic right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. I think the mother word is so soft and gentle. And
Mm-hmm.
then the hustle word is super, almost forceful, right? But
Yeah.
when you put them together, it softens both. It kind of makes the mother a little more actionable, and
Mm-hmm.
then it makes the hustle word a lot softer. I think that's a really good definition that you brought. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you. I hope we can do this again some
Yeah.
other time. And
Maybe my next book.
yes, yes, thank you. Have an awesome day.
You too. Bye, Corrine.